put it in your schedule. I say this all the time. I'm a fitness expert, and I still schedule my workouts. So what I do is I look at the week in advance, and I try to see where it would be logical for me to work out. And then, after the week is over, I look back and move it around so it accurately reflects what I did. And I can say, well, wow, that's great, I reached my goal, pat on the back. Or I can say, gee, I really didn't work out much this week. I think I better amp it up next week. That's how I keep things on a balance. If it's not enough motivation for you to put it in your schedule for yourself, then you can add things to that, like plan to exercise with a friend. If you have someone waiting for you, you're probably not going to leave them hanging, right? You might, hopefully not. Join a class. You know, if you have people waiting for you on a regular basis every week, you know you're going to see your friends, you know people are going to be there. It's motivating. Also, when you put a little money down, it kind of motivates you to get your money's worth, right? You want to go to that class because you put some money down. And on that note, you can hire a trainer. Same thing, you put a little money down, you also have someone waiting for you. So that trainer will also, or the instructor can push you to do a little more than you would have on your own. And by the way, your friends can do that too. Usually one friend is a little more gung-ho than the other on any particular day, and you guys help each other to go forward. But remember what I always say, a little bit is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. So yes, maybe you don't have time today to do your whole hour workout, but can you do 20 minutes? Can you do half an hour? Whatever you can do, whatever's reasonable, do it. Because you also might remember what I spoke to you about 8 weeks ago regarding body fat and fat-burning enzymes. And we have a certain number of them. We're born with a certain number of enzymes that burn fat. And current research these days is showing that if we have a job that requires us to sit for long periods of time, our body fat enzymes start to reduce in number. So the body is so smart that it starts to throw those things out the window because it doesn't need them, because we're not moving around so much. On April 19th, NPR, Your Health, that was during the program, during the welcome program, covered all the studies that documented the need to move more often besides just regular exercise. So guess what? Even if we're exercising an hour every day, if we have a job that's requiring us to sit for the rest of the day, like 12, 16 hours, or 8, 10 hours, whatever, our risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cholesterol, high cholesterol, and all those other things goes up, even if we're exercising once a day. So they also had some studies, so all is not lost. They also had some studies that found, even if you just get up for 1 minute every hour, you can significantly reduce your blood sugar, your triglycerides, your cholesterol, your waist size, even if you just get up once an hour. And so all these people obviously worked out the same amount too, but the difference in the people that moved during the day and that did not move was significant. So, you know, we were going towards, technology was taking us towards this whole, oh, we're just going to sit and relax and we're going to live like kings and not have to move a finger. And now we're finding, well, we kind of want to move more than a finger, actually. And, you know, whether it's losing weight or getting fit, I know people that, you know, want to lose 20, 30, 50 pounds on one side of the scale, or they want to run a marathon. And they'll just bite off way more than they can chew. They'll just try to do way too much all at once. They want to just do it all right now, incorporate the whole thing into their life tomorrow. And what happens to them?
They're brought up.
Yes. It's too much, it's overwhelming, and they quit. That's what happens to them, or they get injured. But they quit generally. So we want to take those small steps. We want to take a big goal, break it down. however many numbers of steps you can figure out, and go to the first one. And then when you hit that one, reach for the second one. Then you hit that, reach for the next level. And what happens is, you get to hit these levels and these little goals, and you're successful with it, and you give yourself a reason to feel confident and competent in going in those directions and in reaching those small goals. It actually makes you feel good, and you want to do more, right? Oh wow, look, I just accomplished that. I like that feeling. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. You guys, I can't tell you how much unrealistic expectations deter people from their goals, and what a big problem they are. You know, people will say, oh, I'm not getting where I want to go fast enough. I'm not getting fit enough fast enough. This diet and exercise thing doesn't work. I'm done. It doesn't work for me. I tried it. I'm done. But the thing is, most of the time, people aren't getting there fast enough. The thing is, diet and exercise works. It's the only way to health. But you have to stick with it. Persistence in diet and exercise is the only thing that's going to get you where you want to go. So, you know, the Biggest Loser types, those shows are unfortunately painting an unrealistic picture of losing weight, because we see people losing 10 pounds in a week, 15 pounds in a week, you know. So what does that say? Well, so now when people go out to lose 10 pounds, they're not losing it in a week, so they feel, again, this isn't working for me. This doesn't work. What am I doing wrong? The thing is that the more weight you have to lose, the easier it is to lose it. So if you are 200, 250, 300 pounds, like a lot of these people are, it's going to be pretty easy for you to lose 10 pounds. Because, who can guess why? Because 10 pounds is a lot smaller percentage of your total body weight when you're 250 pounds than when you're 150 pounds. So when you want to lose 10 pounds at 150, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to take a little bit longer than these Biggest Loser contestants. So 1 to 2 pounds a week is, you know, a realistic expectation if you want to lose weight. And so just going by what I was talking about, as you get closer and closer to your goal, as you get fitter and fitter and your body gets smaller and smaller, it gets harder to lose those last couple pounds. Yeah, that's just how it is. And so the people that are going to be the winners, they're going to see the finish line, they're going to be willing to work a little bit harder. Social life is the biggest challenge. It is the biggest challenge, and believe it or not, research is showing that social support is the key to success in any kind of weight loss or fitness endeavors that we have. You have to have people around you that support you in what you're doing. It's also helpful to have people around you that are also doing the same thing or have done what you're trying to do, so that they can share with you in your successes and your failures, and maybe even tell you, don't worry, it gets better, don't worry, I know what that's like, everything's fine, you're going to be fine. You know, you need support. And social life is the biggest challenge, because if you have friends that are going to the same restaurant all the time, and now all of a sudden you want to eat differently, it's a little hard, because now you're trying to influence people to go to a different restaurant. Or now you have to kind of, you're the only one that's eating salad at the macaroni grill. Here's a little insight into thinking like a healthy person when it comes to nutrition and exercise. Know your bottom line. Your bottom line is basically why you want to be healthy. How will it affect you? How will it affect other people? How will it affect your career if you're healthier? Oh, and by the way, I always put these lists up, right? You see this every time, because it's so amazing. All of these things that exercise prevents, exercise and eating right? And I'm not going to read it because I read it all the time. Also, so this might be part of your bottom line. You know, my mother had type 2 diabetes. My grandfather had arthritis, osteoarthritis. I can't sleep well, blah, 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 blah. It might also be that you want to be a little proactive. You want to fight the effects of aging. You want to look 40 when you're 60. You want to have increased muscle tone. You want to reduce stress. You want to look better. You want to feel better. So what is your bottom line? And maybe it's some of all of these. But if you have a pen, I want you to write down your bottom line right now. Just take a second. This is the south of France. This is Nice, and it's small, but this beach is built up of pebbles. This is a pebble type of a beach. I did not go on it because it doesn't sound like it would feel good. Yeah. And when I was there, this is the view from my apartment. We rented an apartment for 2 weeks, and this is what I saw. Isn't that gorgeous? So when I was there, I had to keep all of these things in mind. I made a plan. Whenever I get to a city that I'm going to be touring, I run around the city. Usually it's the first day. Usually it's the day I get off the plane because I need to shake off the plane body and I need to get my body, moving naturally and normally, and I want to sleep well that night. So I run around the city and I make note of all the different places I want to come back to see later while I'm walking, while I'm touring. So we ran around the city and then we planned the run that we were going to do for the rest of the week. I also planned in one day at the gym and one day of Pilates and yoga. And that was my plan. Small steps to my big goal. My big goal was not to gain weight, not to lose my fitness. Not just gain weight, but lose my fitness. So every day that I worked out, I pat myself on the back, because when you're on vacation in a place like this, you want to be out at the cafe in the morning, and you want to be out at the beach, and so you gotta do your thing, make sure you get your exercise in. Realistic expectations? Yes, that was a realistic expectation for me. And my big challenges, as I told you, sweets. So, planned, I'm in France, and wine, and bread, and cheese. So, I planned that I would probably eat a little more. I wasn't going to overindulge, but I was going to allow myself to try some things, and I was going to exercise a little bit more to balance that out. And I did. I used the secret, what would a fit person do, on the one day that I was supposed to go to the gym. It was the only day I was going to get my gym workout in. Based on our schedule, that was the one day I could do it. I did not want to go. It was a gorgeous day. I could run, I could swim, I could be outside. I didn't want to be inside. That gym was expensive to go for one day, and it was old. I mean, it was not very pretty inside, and I didn't know anybody. So I went to my bottom line. Why do I want to do this? A, because I worked really hard to be where I am today, and I don't want to go backwards. And I don't want to go home and have to work hard again to get back where I started, where I left off. So I'm just going to go to the gym to keep myself at this balance, maintain my fitness, and then